AJ, do you know who Bob McGinn is? McGinn?
Yeah.
He just came out and said he suggests that the Packers trading up for Jordan Love was a power move by Matt LaFleur, who has simply had enough of Rodgers' act, and the Love pick would gain leverage with their imperial quarterback.
Gain what kind of leverage?
I don't know. I mean,
Imperial.
Who's that guy? Who is that? Let's go back and see.
He was a beat writer in Green Bay for a long time, but he left.
40
right?
years.
Where's he working now?
He's with the Athletic.
Right.
But is he still with Green Bay? Is he still in Green Bay?
I don't know, to be honest.
He has reported on the Packers for 4 decades. He suggests that Matt LaFleur, who has simply had enough of Rodgers' act, what the fuck does that mean?
So do you think this is going to help the relationship?
Would gain leverage with their what is imperial quarterback? That means Aaron or Love?
That's
Aaron.
Imperial being like he's a kind of like a dictator almost.
Oh,
correct?
yeah, like all-encompassing.
How would that gain leverage? You just pissed him off
like
and made
leverage
yourself...
to get him out, I believe.
Oh, leverage to get him out of there?
That's how I read it.
I read it as leverage like in the building so he could speak over top of him.
Yeah. Oh, maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're viewing LaFleur and Goody, if say you're viewing Goody as like the Jerry Krause character from the Jordan documentary, then it would make sense. If you're saying like if you think Goody has that personality, which I don't know if he does or not, thinking like, okay, as long as Aaron is here, yeah, we may win a lot of games, but Aaron's going to get the credit.
We got to put our stamp on this. We have to put our legacy on this. So
I hope that's not the case.
Those cocksuckers. I bet it is.
Oh, no.
Well, you got to think, though, Aaron came through for the previous regime, right? So any success that you have, the previous regime was the ones that brought it in. So for your next contract negotiation with whoever Ted is in charge of that whole thing, you're not getting the credit for all this because Aaron's been there since before. You bring your own people in, you build it from yourself, then you get the credit. I mean, that is completely ass backwards, and that is not what you should care about. But these are humans who are trying to make a living. And this is just I think this is so short-sighted in this entire thing. Such a short-sighted. Now, granted, I don't know if this is true. Who knows if Matt LaFleur is enough of Rodgers' act, by the way. Is his act having a great beard, slicking back his hair, and wearing a denim jacket on draft night? Is that his act?
Good act.
If you had enough of that. Is his act rolling and throwing a Hail Mary across his body 65 yards into a basket? Is that his act? Is his act being able to drop it in a bucket? Is that his act? Or what is his act, LaFleur? That's what I would ask.
Whether this is true or not, this is what that draft pick does. This is going to happen all the time now.
Good point.
What happens anytime? I mean, Peyton Manning got cut because Grigson came in. Now, granted, I would have loved, oh my God, now that I just thought about it, I would have loved those two in the same building just to see how that would have went. Oh.
How would it have gone?
What could have been? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, the new regime is always wants to build it from themselves so they can get credit and say that they did it. And they're the one to put the pieces together. That's why the Jerry Krause thing is so interesting because he did build that. And you would think he would respect his baby. But if you have the same vision as Tom Brady or as Bill Belichick, it's like I built this, I can build it again is kind of what Krause feels. These guys have never proven that they can build anything, right? So them just go ahead and just, you know what, fuck it, we'll just, we'll mail it in here for the last potential great, because Aaron told us in 4 years when his contract's up, he'll be 40. That'll be over 2 decades in football. And then he'll take an evaluation, see if he wants to keep going or not after seeing Drew Brees and Tom sign those big deals. But he basically said, next 4 years, I want to go. I want to go and go for it and see what we got to do. And they just aren't, they're obviously not on the same page, especially if Bob McGinn's reporting that. He's been reporting on the Packers for 4 decades, AJ.
Well, and Aaron's saying that, hey, we want to go. We have a window open here. I still feel really good. Oh, and by the way, we were 1 game away from the Super Bowl last year. We don't need to rebuild.
Is that his act?
Plug a few pieces in place, maybe draft a receiver or 2. Didn't get any. I know you brought in Funches. That's a start, but you had the opportunity to make your team better in the short term, and I just don't think they did that through the draft.
What if Aaron he probably won't. I have not talked to Aaron. I'm not 100% sure if AJ has. So what I'm saying is nothing to do with what Aaron's actually thinking. I'm just thinking to myself, what if he was like, I don't want to be here. I want to leave.
Yeah.
I think Packers fans, by the way, would actually be understanding. I think maybe Guti and LaFleur, they would love to potentially try to trade him. He's got $46 million in dead cap space.
Really? You really think now that they would really want to trade him?
No. But if,
No way.
if he's tired of his act, I mean, that is, if Bob McGinn is reporting it accurately, he's tired of his act. I mean, you have no idea what that means. Those words can be broken down in so many different ways. That's why I respect Bob McGinn just throwing his name right out into this whole thing. I mean, it's just, if you're Aaron, how are you not just furious about that? I would be so pissed. I'd be so pissed.
Anybody would be furious about it. And I think Andrew Brandt said it on your show yesterday that he's like, Packers fans are spoiled. They've had a franchise Hall of Fame quarterback for the last 30 years. You went from Brett Favre straight to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's some big shoes to fill for Jordan Love if he is eventually going to be that next guy. But man, like it's not time yet to be for that next guy.
I said it earlier. With drafting Jordan Love and trading up to get him, they're saying that if they plan on keeping Aaron for 2 years, whatever it is, his contract is set up for them basically to pay him the next 2 years. And then the last 2 years, it's kind of an interesting thing. Say they keep him for 2 years, and then Jordan Love's going to be the guy. They're saying that either the quarterback needs to be in their system for a couple years to learn it so they can hit the ground running, or they're saying they don't think they'll find another Jordan Love in the next couple years, which I just find remarkable because Joe Burrow didn't even exist really until last year. How do you know what dual threat quarterback is going to be available next year that could potentially be better than Jordan Love? And now you just piss off your franchise quarterback, don't make your team better, and bank on never being able to find somebody that could potentially replace it. It's all so stupid. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even if, let's say 3 or 4 years from now, Jordan Love takes over and his 4th year in the league, they win a Super Bowl, then do you look back that far down the road and be like, see, we were justified? Like, well, no, because you had Aaron for another 3 or 4 years and you could have won another Super Bowl and you probably didn't.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Play good, pay good, live good, die good.